After 2 months after a wreck killing a Van Buren County Commission worker, charges have finally been filed.
A man is officially charged with 2 different felony charges today. And News Channel 3's Autumn Pitcher spoke to Renee Rangel's family, who has been waiting for justice.
Renee Rangel was one of 6 kids. His sister telling me today that he joined the Road Commission because he wanted a change in his life, and he was always looking out for the safety of others. Now, Logan Brown, the man accused of hitting and killing Rangel, was charged today. The judge setting his bond at $350,000. Happy and full of life is the way the family describes 58-year-old Renee Rangel before he was hit and killed March 3rd while on the job.
He's just a happy person. You go fishing with him and you're having a bad day, turned into a great day. He went bike riding. He, went on lots of trips.
The Van Buren County Road Commission worker was working traffic control when police say a driver swerved around a stopped truck and hit him at County Road 681.
Very traumatizing. We would have never expected this in a million years. I'm angry and I'm sad, but I think I'm more hurt. I want to see him, but I can't. So, that's where that's at.
Rangel's sister, Crystal Hodgemeyers, says she'll miss him dearly as he was her last brother alive.
I had another brother who died in a house fire, and, after he passed away, he kind of stepped up and took all of us in and supported all of us when we needed support.
Logan Brown, the driver, sits emotionless in court today as Judge Clark reads his 2 felony charges, including operating a vehicle while intoxicated, causing death.
And did carelessly drive in a work zone and as a result caused the death of Renee Rangel.
The felony is punishable up to 15 years in prison.
Do you understand the 2 felonies and the potential penalties?
Yes, Your Honor. I've cooperated. I've done everything right. And, I'm a staple in my community. I got my kids all the time. I actually have them this weekend. So I would just ask that, you show a little mercy on my bond. Let me prove that not everything that's being said has actually happened.
Rangel's family tells me it's been 2 long months.
For me, and I think for the rest of my family, it brings us peace knowing, because we've been waiting, so it gives us that comfort,
Brown has a criminal history. In 2021, he was charged with assault with a dangerous weapon and is due in court May 22nd for felonious assault, according to the Van Buren County Prosecutor.
We believe he is a threat to the community, and we ask you to set a bond commensurate with that threat.
Rangel's sister tells me that he was the rock of the family and put a smile on everyone's face. Now, Brown's pre-exam conference is scheduled for May 17th. There will be a prelim on May 24th.
This morning, morel mushroom hunting is one of the best ways to enjoy the outdoors in northern Michigan in the spring. Meteorologist Heather Bricka went morel mushroom hunting to find out how you can find them on your own.
May marks the start of trying to find these elusive fungi in the woods.
This is a great time to get out there and start looking for these morels. Typically, the darker morel comes early in the season, so the last week or 2 we've been finding them, but our weather's been so precarious that now that we're leaning towards some warmer climate and we've got moisture in the ground, it's really a wonderful time, like right now, to get out there.
It takes warmer days like this weekend where it'll be more likely for them to start popping up.
They can fruit from anywhere from April to June, but May is the primary time when people start calling us and saying, where can I find these mushrooms? I'm so excited to get out in the woods. So we're always excited to talk about that. I always recommend going out like after a good rain when it warms up. So don't be fooled by Fool Spring. It's the next big warm up. So
they are hard to find, but when you do find them, it's exhilarating.
Oh,
there you go.
And it breaks off that easily.
But you need to make sure the mushroom you find is an edible morel and not a poisonous mushroom instead.
Cut this morel in half, gently, not to cut myself. Indeed, you're going to see that it's hollow.
If you're looking for spots that are good, successful hunters don't like giving up their spots. So
the DNR has provided a map at michigan.gov/mymorels. And that is a map that shows previously burned or prescribed burned locations over 10 acres on state lands. So we can't guarantee you'll find mushrooms out there, but they're a good place to start.
And because they are hard to find, don't be discouraged if you don't find any, especially the first time.
It's a chance to commune with nature. It's really just a wonderful experience, win-win, even if you don't find any. Getting out there, getting some exercise, taking a chance to become associated and learning your land.
The DNR suggests making sure you have a GPS or map when venturing out into the woods to avoid getting lost off trails. In Leelanau County, Heather Bricka, Up North Live News.
If you really want morels of your own and cannot find them, Great Lakes Treats carries them at the Traverse City Farmers Market every Saturday.
Tonight, a Midtown neighbor is in a hairy situation with the City of Tulsa. He says the city is prosecuting him for an ordinance he thinks is ridiculous. News Channel 8's Danielle Barr is live tonight down at City Hall with this story you'll see only on 8. Danielle, this is a pretty strange violation.
Yeah, the city says this neighbor is illegally keeping rabbits, and this neighbor tells us he's just giving them a good home and freedom.
Come on.
Roger Henry loves to watch his bunnies munch on lunch.
It gives me a lot of joy to see them actually, running around free in my yard, because that's what I think they should do.
He has 11.
Yeah, I consider them my family and my friends.
Recently, Roger feels like someone's framing his rabbits.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
He says notices from the city have multiplied like bunnies.
Why would anybody care about this?
Last Thursday, the city thumped him with a court date.
This is kind of crazy.
The violation? Unlawfully maintaining rabbits. The city says they've gotten several calls about the furballs hopping around the neighborhood. They also say the structure Henry has for them doesn't comply with city ordinance.
I mean, if I was like mistreating my rabbits, I could understand why the city would maybe want to bother me. But I mean, I spend a lot of money and effort to try to create a very healthy environment for them. I totally think it's a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Councilor Jamie Fowler agrees.
I think we could probably use the taxpayers' money better and our time more wisely.
Henry says the ordinance he's violating is ridiculous. Fowler says it's the municipal court's job to go down that rabbit hole.
I'll put the judgment in the judge's hands and let them discern, whether it's dumb or smart or maybe somewhere in between.
Henry hopes his tale ends happily.
Ideally, a change in the ordinance would be awesome.
And Henry says he plans to come to a Tulsa City Council meeting to try to change that ordinance, and he'll be hopping into municipal court next month.